"Ah, 'tis an unfortunate year for kings," said the mother, "and no one thinks of us in this country, for each must think about his own affairs. As long as your brother was with me he kept me up, but he is gone, and can no longer send us news of himself, either to me or to your father. I have pledged my last jewels, sold your clothes and my own to pay his servants, who refused to accompany him unless I made this sacrifice. We are now reduced to live at the expense of these daughters of heaven, succored by God. Then let us pray to heaven," said the girl. The two women who thus knelt in united prayer were the daughter and granddaughter of Henry IV, the wife and daughter of Charles I. They had just finished their double prayer when a nun softly tapped at the door of the cell. "Enter, my sister," said the queen. "I trust your majesty will pardon this intrusion on her meditations, but a foreign lord has arrived from England and waits in the parlour, demanding the honour of presenting a letter to your majesty. Oh, a letter from the king. Perhaps news from your father. Do you hear? Henrietta, and the name of this lord, Lord de Winter." "Lord de Winter," exclaimed the queen, "the friend of my husband." "Oh, bid him enter." And the queen advanced to meet the messenger, whose hand she seized affectionately, whilst he knelt down and presented a letter to her, contained in a case of gold. "Ah, my lord," said the queen, "you bring us three things which we have not seen for a long time: gold, a devoted friend, and a letter from the king, our husband and master." De Winter bowed again, unable to reply from excess of emotion. On their side the mother and daughter retired into the embrasure of a window to read eagerly the following letter: "Dear wife, we have now reached the moment of decision. I have concentrated here at Naseby camp all the resources heaven has left me, and I write to you in haste from thence. Here I await the army of my rebellious subjects. I am about to struggle for the last time with them. If victorious, I shall continue the struggle; if beaten, I am lost. I shall try. In the latter case, alas, in our position, one must provide for everything. I shall try to gain the coast of France. But will they receive an unhappy king, who will bring such a sad story into a country already agitated by civil discord? Your wisdom and your affection must serve me as guides. The bearer of this letter will tell you, Madame, what I dare not trust to pen and paper and the risks of transit. He will explain to you the steps that I expect you to pursue. I charge him also with my blessing for my children, and with the sentiments of my soul for yourself, my dearest sweetheart." The letter bore the signature, not of Charles, King, but of Charles still king. "And let him be no longer king," cried the queen. "Let him be conquered, exiled, proscribed, provided he still lives. Alas, in these days the throne is too dangerous a place for me to wish him to retain it. But, my lord, tell me," she continued, "hide nothing from me what is. In truth, the king's position, is it as hopeless as he thinks? Alas, madame, more hopeless than he thinks. His Majesty has so good a heart that he cannot understand hatred, is so loyal that he does not suspect treason. England is torn in twain by a spirit of disturbance which, I greatly fear, blood alone can exorcise." "But, Lord Montrose," replied the queen, "I have heard of his great and rapid successes of battles gained. I heard it said that he was marching to the frontier to join the king." "Well, then, madame," said De Winter, "the king wishes you to try and discover the dispositions of the king and queen toward him. Alas, you know that even now the king is but a child, and the queen a woman weak enough. Here, Monsieur Mazarin is everything. Does he desire to play the part in France that Cromwell plays in England? Oh, no, he is a subtle, conscienceless Italian, who, though he very likely dreams of crime, dares not commit it, and unlike Cromwell, who disposes of both houses, Mazarin has had the queen to support him in his struggle with the Parliament,